and welcome to the 2016 Rose Parade presented by Honda. You know, for the last 13 years, we've taken a little pause in this parade to feel gratitude for the life and the health that we have. It's a great sentiment here on New Year's Day, celebrating those who've given the ultimate gift. And while most of this parade is sort of dedicated to exuberant celebration, this is really a bittersweet mix of beauty and tragedy and second chances. This is the float from Donate Life. They've done an incredible job, Ken and John, of spreading the message of the life-saving importance of organ donation. And the list of those who are willing to be donors has increased tenfold since they started creating floats in the parade. This is decorated by fluorograph medallions made to look like sepia photographs from coffee grounds and farina. And there's a young father, a young mother, a college student, a 9-year-old girl, a young man from New Mexico. So many who have given the gift of life and are remembered. And these fluorographs are actually shipped to their families, and the families finish the decoration of the fluorographs. So it's so meaningful.
And Ken, right? People that donate, one life can affect 20 and 30 and 40 lives.
Absolutely,
correct?
Absolutely, and the importance of being an organ donor can't be understated in the world of medicine. Obviously, there's so much research being done in transplantation, and now there's more of a relative ease of how to give, and also for the donor, which is also good for the donor and the recipient. And I think that when you have certain HLA or genetic matching, the technology now is pretty outstanding.
As many as 60 people can be helped by a single donor, and you see those who are walking beside the float. They are living donors as well, and it just shows that life can go on, your adventures can go on. Don't be afraid to share the gift of life. All right, let's go down once again to John Neighbor. John?
Live from Pasadena, California, brought to you in high definition, the National Broadcasting Company presents the 127th Rose Parade presented by Honda.
This is exciting because it's another award winner. It's the Isabella Coleman Trophy, Best Presentation of Color and Harmony Through Floral Use, Donate Life. Donate Life is celebrating 12 successful years in the parade with this year's theme of Treasure Life's Journey. The success of the company is overwhelming since the public became aware of its goals of inspiring donors to contribute organs and eyes and tissue to more than 1 million people in need each year. One of the best ways to find your adventure is to give forth to others so they may fulfill theirs. The float does honor the donors and their supporters beautifully, and it's a gorgeous float.
Every rose holds the name of a recipient of donations, and fluorograph portraits of 60 deceased donors are on the gold medallion. There are 24 tissue and organ recipients riding on the float, as well as 12 donor outwalkers. The float's comprised of 100,000 florals, and take a look at, you can see some holding the pictures of some loved ones there to remember them. And I'll tell you, it is just a real heartwarming float there.
It really is. And when you also just look out the mechanics of it, when you watch how those camel heads are moving and how they get it all going.
Although, just to give you a little behind the scenes, they had some trouble with this float. And if you notice, there's a tow truck, because this float should be traveling under its own power. But they had some problems with the mechanics, and so they had to get a tow truck getting that out there. But hey, they get it done when they need to.
All right, well, we've got another award winner.
So we have now our winner of the Isabella Coleman Trophy, Best Presentation of Color and Color Harmony. This is Treasure Life's Journey by Donate Life. The desert oasis brings a fanciful caravan of camels relaxing among desert treasures, reminding us all that life is a treasure. On the float, there are 60 gold medallions with floral pictures of organ donors who have given so many people the opportunity to live and have more adventures. You'll see the camel's fur. It's actually a coarse material, and it's not the easiest thing to duplicate with organic materials. So what they did, and there's a lot of talk about this in the float community, is the float's designer and builder went a bit nuts, and he instructed the team to cover all of these guys with over 300 square feet of trimmed sheet moss, and then the volunteers sprayed the moss with glue and brushed on more than 60 pounds of powdered cinnamon. It looks and feels remarkably close to real camel fur, and it also smells absolutely delicious.
Yes, it does. You can tell by looking at the camel that he smells delicious, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, the blankets of the camels are flowers with Bazette, Tiapolo, Moonlight, and Cinderella carnations. Those are a lot of different names for carnations, as well as strawflower petals and tangerines. And Charles Meyer from one of the newer float building companies, Paradiso, actually spent a lot of time finding the flowers and all the different colors, the exact colors on this float, which I think he did a wonderful job because it's so vibrant.
And those floral pictographs are so important because those are the faces of all of the people who were donors.
Yes, beautiful float.
Live from Pasadena, California, it's the 127th Rose Parade, presented by Honda, with your hosts, Bob Eubanks and Stephanie Edwards.
Gone, look what happened to the Isabel Coleman Trophy Award winner. Look what happened.
For color and color harmony with floral use.
It's being towed.
I know, but you know, it doesn't ruin it at all.
No.
It comes to us from Paradiso. Charles Meyer designed it, and it is a wonderful use of color and color harmony in flowers. Donate Life reminds us to treasure life's journey with an opulent desert scene. Organ and tissue donation, like this float, is an oasis that renews hope and sustains life. These are names of carnations: Bizet, Tiepolo, Moonlight, and Cinderella. The baskets use the blankets. They're carnation woven blankets draping Mr. Camel, I think it is.
Yeah.
And he is of cinnamon dusted sheet moss fur. It's a marvelous piece of
You know,
work.
all the writers are transplant recipients embracing life's journey thanks to organ and tissue donation. Some of those generous living donors walk alongside, and you can register to become a donor by visiting donatelifeamerica.org.
Here's how important it can be.
beautiful.
60 fluorograph portraits are all of deceased organ donors who saved people's lives.
Well, congratulations. They won the Isabella Coleman Trophy.
Wonderful. Now, the theme trophy...
Welcome to RFD TV's presentation of the 127th Annual Tournament of Roses Parade, presented by Honda. Now, here's Pam Minnick and Bob and Kelly Phillips.
And next we have the Isabella Coleman Award to this float. This is Donate Life, Treasure Life's Journey.
And this is the float that you talked about earlier.
That's right. You'll see the different floral ovals of people's faces. One of those featuring 15-year-old Courtney Sterling, who was killed along with her sister and her sister's unborn child in a traffic accident, killed by an alleged drunk driver. And Courtney's organs now bringing to life 5 members.
5 other people's lives
were made possible
because of her organ donation.
You know, we saw a tow truck pulling them. Some of these floats had to come 16 miles from a different float barn outside of town. They said at 2 miles an hour, it took them 8 hours to drive those floats here, the guy riding underneath it. And so you can see why perhaps they maybe ran out of juice.
And this one kind of did, but it's still beautiful. It's the 13th year the float's mission is celebrated at hundreds of events nationwide where families finish memorial fluorograph portraits and sponsors are honored for making this donation possible.
Univisión presenta el Desfile de las Rosas 2016. En vivo, de costa a costa, desde Pasadena, California.
Y así, con el sonido de las campanas, pasamos de la música de estos jóvenes de Michigan al trofeo Isabella Coleman, que en este caso es para Atesora el Camino de la Vida de Donate Life o Dona Vida.
Así es, y se lo dan por el mejor uso y armonía de los colores. Fíjate que este carro es muy emotivo, Alejandro, porque ellos están promoviendo la donación de órganos. Son 60 donantes fallecidos que están representados en la fluorografía, en estas monedas que ahora estamos viendo. También van a bordo 24 receptores de órganos que nos saludan desde el carro alegórico y 12 donantes que son sobrevivientes aún, que caminan portando las canastas con provisiones para este camino de vida.
Y ese mensaje es muy importante porque ellos decidieron de desprenderse de una parte de su cuerpo vital para que otra persona pudiera seguir viviendo, y quieren demostrarnos que pueden llevar una vida activa, una vida como podríamos llevarlos cualquier otra persona en el mundo después de haber hecho ese regalo. Y fíjate, Laisha, en la base del carro alegórico, esa base que vemos tapizada de flores rojas, pues van nombres también muy significativos. Son nombres de donantes. Se pusieron en un papelito como un acto simbólico para que también estuvieran presentes ahí.
Así es, deberíamos todos, creo.